Welcome to the Vibrant Woman, Wealthy Women Within mini audio series. I'm your host, Heather Russell, and I'm here to guide you on the journey where intuition meets action and where your vibrancy unlocks the door to wealth in every aspect of your life. In this mini audio summit, you'll be guided by 8 wisdom keepers who've walked the path and are here to light the way for us all. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's dive into this transformational series. Hey everyone, I'm excited to welcome Michelle Leblanc. And for those who aren't familiar with Michelle's work, she is the creator of the Money Magnet Formula, where she guides individuals on a transformative journey to identify and dissolve their financial barriers, tackling both deep-seated subconscious beliefs and their past lives, so they can leverage the law of attraction effectively to create that pinch me life they've always wanted. And today we're diving into the reason you're still struggling to be a money magnet. This is going to be a good one. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So before we dig into this incredible topic about being magnetic to money, I would love for you to share an aha moment or an experience from your own life that made you realize that you weren't in alignment and how you got started in this profound work.
Well, it wasn't just one. It was kind of like a culmination of many years being just not happy in the chosen profession that I got my degree in. So I'm a clinical pharmacist and worked in hospitals for 30 plus years. And I realized early out of school that it just really wasn't my passion. I didn't really believe in the whole Western approach to medicine and healing. And it was just, I thought it was very narrow-minded. So my whole career, I've always had like a side gig, a side hobby, a side hustle, a side, getting a certification or a training in something that I was passionate about. So although I'm very left brain and analytical and sciencey and all that, I'm also very intuitive and creative and that as well. So for many years after I learned about the law of attraction, I struggled for money. I could make it work for almost anything else, but I just couldn't seem to get it work for money. Or if I manifested a little bit of money, I seemed to lose it very quickly. So, if I manifested a couple $100, seems like within a week I had an expense that was a couple of $100.
Oh, yeah.
So, so I was like banging my head against that ceiling. And also all this time, just not happy in my career. So back in 2021, I ended up taking yet another certification in an energy modality. And I started to have some aha moments about past lives because I'd heard about past lives and I had to do a few regressions, but had never really explored it, but learning how to do that was part of this healing modality. So I realized I had a lot of blocks in a lot of different areas, and I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, well, I think I have some money blocks too. Well, I finished that certification and started my business years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago. It was spring of 2022.
Awesome.
And I started seeing one-on-one clients on Zoom. And I seemed to be attracting the same type of clients that I was, not necessarily for money, but having the same types of issues and blocks. And I was using these tools and basically tweaking the tools to make it work for whatever they needed it to be. And it was like a series of small little downloads and clicks and aha moments. And then one day I was like, wait a minute. And then, I tested it out on myself and a few people, and I started getting results. They started getting results, and then hence Money Magnet Formula was born.
Love it.
So, it was a long story.
No, I mean, I like that you came from the medical background and it didn't work for you. And because you were like the opposite, you're the opposite scale in the paradigm, right? You're about energy and like really embodying that more spiritual side as opposed to that analytical, hard kind of like not being in touch with our environment. So I really like that. And
Right.
One of our birthrights is abundance, and we're just on a journey to remember this. So as we journey towards abundance, we often hear about the power of positive thinking and, of course, the law of attraction. Yet, despite our best efforts, let's say, so many of us find ourselves hitting that wall when it comes to attracting financial prosperity. And as you touched on a little bit, right? It's not only what we consciously think or do, it's so much deeper, right? It's rooted in our subconscious minds. So I want to explore with you how mindset and our subconscious mind is pivotal, it plays pivotal roles in our ability to manifest wealth. And then specifically, how crucial is it to identify and clear these subconscious money blocks?
You kind of touched a little bit on what's the biggest point in this is that, just because you consciously want something, your subconscious mind is running the show. Neuroscience estimates that up to 95% of what we do, how we behave, how we think, how we feel is ruled by subconscious programming. So if you're, manifesting the money you want, you might not be a millionaire or a billionaire, but if you're happy with what you can manifest, then, you probably don't need to clear any subconscious blocks. But if you're like me and a lot of other people, you can only just get so high until you just reach that ceiling, and you just cannot do any better than that. So that's when, mindset and the subconscious mind and healing those blocks and identifying them comes into play. Our mindset, our money mindset, is basically that set point that we have. It encompasses both the beliefs that we have that are helpful and inspiring and help us do what we want to do, but it contains those limiting beliefs, those subconscious beliefs that we have that are just making us hit our head against the wall and self-sabotage and just not do the thing you're supposed to do. So it doesn't matter what your conscious mind says. It doesn't matter what you say or you want to do. That is just a small portion of what's ruling the show.
Right. And we think it's 100%, right? Because our conscious mind leads us to believe that, it is the star of the show.
It's not.
When in actuality, it is the co-star way down the line. And then when you had mentioned, I think that everybody has these blocks. It is just to a different degree, right? So it's like once people pass like a set point, right? They have another set point. So it's like we never stop learning and growing. We always hit something. We always have to get to our edge. So just when you think you've had one thing cleared, something else pops up, right? That subconscious mind is like, making it a little
and
rowdy
that's the
for
thing
you.
that you go from like I can't manifest any money at all to $10 here, $5 there, $50 here, $100 there, and then once you clear that, then it's in the multiple hundreds, then the multiple thousands, and so on and so forth. So it's in layers, and you're right. We all have these limiting beliefs around money and any other subject you can think of, and that was all. Most of those limiting beliefs, those stories that we have around money, were formed in our childhoods. Up until about the age 7, we're downloading everything around us, and we, as children, we took it on as the truth because we don't have that discernment. Our minds are not sophisticated enough to realize mom or dad said that out of frustration, and it's not really true that rich people are selfish. But we downloaded that as true. That's just example. That's a very common limiting belief that a lot of people have.
So I want to dive in because I just think it's so interesting, and I totally agree with it about carrying these beliefs, possibly agreements in previous lives, where you just completely repeat a cycle, but you're unaware because, we don't remember our previous lifetimes. So I would love to dig in with you about that and how that affects our current, how that affects it, and then what we can do to kind of get ourselves to release it and then get ourselves in a greater financial mindset for abundance.
Well, similar to how the subconscious mind can run the show and limit what we believe we can do. Our past lives, the things we've done in our past lives, like these oaths we've taken, these vows we've taken, these agreements we've taken in past lives for various reasons. It's like all of that is like energetic baggage we carry from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. We clear it, we'll continue to carry that into our next lifetime and the one after that and the one after that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And we do these things for a variety of reasons, like maybe you took an oath of poverty in a past life. Maybe you were a wealthy person, but it corrupted you and you lost your whole family and you lost the love of everybody around you. And, in a moment, you just like, I'm never going to do this again. Money is awful. And it had such an impactful, energetic imprint on you that, that agreement you made with yourself to never be rich again is following you after lifetime after lifetime.
And
so there are all sorts of examples, but the point is, it's that energetic baggage we carry from our previous lives.
And we don't even realize what those vows. But I mean, yours was a perfect example, right? Screwing somebody over and vowing, I would never do this. I don't want to have money. Money corrupts.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever stories. And I think that maybe that shows up in our childhood, right? I personally believe that we incarnate with the same people in different roles.
Yeah.
And those beliefs repeat themselves. So, like for instance, in my family, we can never get ahead. If my parents, God bless them, they struggle with money. They weren't good money managers. Money came and went very quickly. So we were like, we knew money wasn't going to last, so we would just spend it. Right. We weren't savers. We did all that stuff. And so that was like heavy programming that carried over into my adulthood, where I had to like relearn and reconnect my relationship with money in a healthier way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we can also make agreements with people in our other lives, like you said, referring to soul groups. We come in and repeat different roles. It's the same like play stage, but we play different roles. But like, for example, say you were a husband and wife in a former life, and you, for whatever reason, made an agreement that, you're never gonna get more financially successful than I am, or vice versa.
Mm.
So, in this life, that person might be your best friend or a sibling or another mate, another spouse. And, you fight each other, or, because your friend can't get this any higher than this, you won't allow yourself either because of that agreement you made in a former life.
Right. And then here you would
So
feel it as
interesting.
guilt. It is incredible. If only if only we really all could just have the little magic balls, our magic crystal balls, and look and say, like, okay, what do I need to clear? Because I don't want to carry it in. I'm done with this lesson.
Well, and that's part of the sleuthing out what your blocks are, and what's holding you back
Most
with
definitely.
money or with anything.
Completely agree. So let's dive into some tools that people often use for their manifestations, like affirmations, vision boards, um, trying to maintain like positive thinking, higher vibrational frequency, and then they kind of like hit a wall, or there's an invisible barrier to actually manifesting the things that are on their vision board. So let's just talk a little bit about that. How do you feel about those in your toolkit?
Those things will work, but again, only to a certain point, because those are all tools that you use on a conscious level,
Yeah.
and you can say all the affirmations you want. You can have a vision board as big as this room. You can, always be vibing at the highest vibrational frequency possible. You can never allow yourself to have a negative thought, but that's just 5%. That 95%, your mindset, that set point, that basically financial thermostat is set where it's set. And the only tools that's going to, excuse me, change that are tools that work on a subconscious level, because, you just can't convince your subconscious mind to do anything. You just can't talk your way to your subconscious mind. You have to use other tools.
What is your favorite tool to use?
I use a lot of, for the subconscious mind, EFT,
Mhm.
emotional freedom technique or tapping. And I combine EFT with affirmations. And I've also developed a specific type of guided meditation that works on the subconscious mind.
Love that. Do you, how do you feel about inner child work?
I've not delved too much into that.
Oh, okay.
I think it probably would be helpful, because, like I said, a lot of your limiting beliefs were formed in childhood. So if you are addressing that inner child that you have, I'm guessing helpful. I've just not explored it much, so I can't
Oh, yeah.
definitively say one way or the other how it would work or not work.
Oh, yeah, I'm just riffing with you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, inner child work, because you had mentioned exactly that. We pick up so much programming. We're little sponges. And I had heard that saying once that, parents think they know their children, but really children know their parents the most because they watch and study them. And they pick up all the patterns and the habits that we don't even realize that we're putting off.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you have any last tips or insights that you would like to share with the audience?
Um, yeah, I mean, whether it's the tool I mentioned, but or something else, just if you want to change your subconscious programming, you've got to use a tool that works on a subconscious level. Um, and no, I guess nothing comes to mind.
No, I mean, no, I was going to say no program is going to stick, but you won't be able to release the deep, hidden, deep-seated programming unless you tap into your subconscious mind. And that is
Yeah.
like really where our gold happens.
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
getting
your
into
mind is so powerful, your subconscious mind. It's way more powerful than people realize. Uh, it's controlling everything.
that.
Um,
It really is. And I often say this, and I might have said this in another interview, but in order for us to manifest, we have to descend. We have to get inside of our bodies. And most of the time, like, myself, I catch myself many times, even now, like being out here. And so we have to descend to ascend. And manifestation only happens when we are inside of our bodies. It doesn't happen outside of our bodies.
yeah. Um, Actually, something did occur to me that you mentioned. A lot of us have a lot of trapped emotions in our bodies, and that will kind of clog up our meridians, those energy patterns that energy form runs along.
Yeah.
And, just like the conscious mind will skew what we're trying to do, these trapped emotions, often the emotions that we experience, money traumas or experiences we've had, or even things in childhood or things you observe now, those trapped emotions can also skew things. So, different types of emotional release, energy healing will also help that as well.
Love it. So good. Thank you so much. Would you tell the audience about your free gift and where they can find you?
Oh, yeah. So, I mentioned a little while ago that I developed a specific type of meditation that works on the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So I have some little recordings of a quick little 5 minutes, a little over 5 minute um, recording of guided meditation that will help you work on your subconscious programming. If you commit to doing it for 21 days and really allow yourself to get into um, the relaxation of the meditation, it is astounding how amazing that your life can turn around.
I love it.
So, three things will depend on how powerful and effective it is for you. First, you got to make the commitment to doing it and actually doing it consistently. So, at least 21 days, maybe longer if you're somebody who can't easily slip into a relaxed state as easily as others. And that's the number 2 point. So you have to be able to slip into that hypnotic, deep, relaxed state. So, it may take you a little longer to try to practice before your mind starts like accepting the fact that you're going to like slip into a relaxed state.
Hmm.
And then lastly, your willingness to change. because once you start deprogramming your mind, you're going to start meeting new people. Opportunities are going to start dropping in your lap. But if you're not willing to engage with these people or accept the new opportunities, you're just telling your subconscious mind, I'm going to change. So for example, if you get a new job offer, or you meet somebody who can lead you to somebody else who will lead you to somebody who will offer you a job. If you don't take that, you're telling your subconscious mind, I'm not going to change. So that meditation will only work to a point.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip
Michelle,
side,
yeah, that
if
is
you
such a good point.
step up and accept the opportunity, you're stepping and say, okay, this is a little bit scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. That your actions, in combination with reprogramming the mind, is what gives you those amazing results and takes you to that new level.
Yeah, your next level. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a good point. And that new opportunities will come up. And this is either, I mean, everything in the universe is neutral, but if you have a gap once you have released those beliefs. So either you are intentionally, choosing to have different beliefs that come in, or you will go back to those default beliefs. And I think that you totally touched on that, and that is so important.
Yeah, or if you don't go back to the old ones, you're actually setting new ones, new limiting beliefs.
Probably, I know.
Probably
worse.
Possibly, I don't know, say you get this job offer and you start telling yourself, well, I'm not qualified, or I'm not good enough, or I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I don't have enough experience, so I don't have the right degree. You're programming new limiting beliefs right there.
Nuts. Oh my God, it is totally true. So I really like that you are saying, you always need to be pushing yourself to your next level, and commit. It's 21 days, and just commit to that 21 days. And if you don't see improvements, or you go and you surpass that, try that again, right? Because again, abundance is your birthright. And if you aren't taking those, it's not a risk, but if you aren't stepping up to make those changes, things are not going to change.
Right.
And on this summit and with Michelle's talk, this is all about reprogramming those subconscious limiting beliefs. So I love that. So perfect. So thank you so much for being on the Vibrant Woman, Wealthy Woman Within series, Michelle, and sharing all your insights.
Thank you for having me, Heather. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, how awesome was that? Another powerful and simple technique to embody your wealthy woman within. And don't forget to head over to the speaker interview page and grab your free gifts from each of the wisdom keepers. I'd love to hear what resonated the most with you about this interview. Send me an email at heather@heatherrussell.co or a DM on Instagram at @theheatherrussell. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for tuning in. So much love to you, Vibrant Woman. And bye for now.